This past weekend was a little bit slower than our normal weekends, which is actually a good thing.
The sheriff is giving his weekend roundup. Darryl Moody reports.
Sheriff Staley says deputies arrested 9 suspects over the weekend.
One of those arrests for a man riding a bicycle without a proper light during the night was stopped. He was already on probation for narcotics, and he was found in possession of MDMA and various drug paraphernalia. I hope he takes us up on our mental health and substance abuse programs and turns his life around.
The sheriff says his own date night with his wife was interrupted.
One of the restaurant workers informed me of an individual that had been inside the restaurant swinging around a dream catcher that had a huge hook on one end. I talked to the guy outside the restaurant and asked deputies to respond, and he was given a trespass warning and escorted off the property after he was determined not to have been wanted. Hopefully he won't come back and disturb other customers in the future. If he does, the light is always on at the Green Roof Inn.
Over the weekend, deputies responded to 673 calls for service and conducted a total of 217 traffic stops. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Darryl Moody.
Good morning, Flagler County. I'm Rich Carroll. You're listening to Flagler's Morning News on Tuesday, April 16th. A Flagler County jury has delivered a guilty verdict in the case of a man shot while sitting in his car at a Circle K parking lot back in 2019. Marcus Chamberlain, the defendant, was found guilty of first-degree murder, attempted second-degree murder with a firearm, and shooting into an occupied building after a 5-day trial. The incident occurred in 2019 outside a Circle K on Belterre Boulevard where the victim, Dion Jenkins, was parked. Surveillance footage captured Chamberlain approaching the vehicle and firing 16 shots before fleeing the scene. Jenkins was rushed to the hospital but died from a gunshot wound to the chest. Another individual in the car sustained injuries but eventually recovered. Flagler County deputies investigated the shooting for 15 months, amassing substantial evidence to support the case. Following the verdict on Monday, Chamberlain received a life sentence in prison. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you. The Palm Coast City Council has a business meeting this morning. Karen Johnson has a preview.
Proclamations and presentations will lead this morning's City Council meeting by the council members of the City of Palm Coast. Brittany Kershaw, Director of Communications and Marketing for the City of Palm Coast.
The first will declare April 13th, 2024 as Curtis Gray Remembrance Day in honor of a young man who lost his life here in our community. Also, April will be designated as Sexual Assault Awareness Month, Community Volunteer Month, and Landscape Architecture Month. And then we will also be designating May 2024 as Military Appreciation Month.
Then some significant board appointments will be announced.
The City Council will appoint 5 members to the Residential Drainage Citizen Advisory Committee. They'll also appoint 1 member to the Beautification and Environmental Advisory Committee and 1 member to the Volunteer Firefighter Pensions Board.
Then the meeting will shift to some ordinances.
1 ordinance regarding amending a section of a neighborhood meeting requirement, and this is providing additional notice to the neighboring residents for applications like comprehensive plan amendments, rezonings, etc.
The business meeting will take place in the community wing at City Hall at 160 Lake Avenue in Palm Coast today, beginning at 9 a.m. For Flagler's Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
What is WaterSafe?
Brielle Goldberg is the president of WaterSafe, Inc. and the facility director at Aquafin Swim School. She said this year's WaterSafe will be a fun-filled learning experience.
We'll have several different swim lesson providers in the water, some staff from the Belterre Swim and Racket Club in the water, helping assist children, just some introduction to water safety skills. We'll work on blowing bubbles, floating, potentially some going underwaters for kids that are ready for that.
WaterSafe is on April 27th, 9 a.m. to noon at the Belterre Swim and Racket Club at 73 Patricia Drive in Palm Coast. You can listen to Flagler Health Matters on the Flagler radio app or here on WNZF Saturday mornings at 11:30 in the morning. Tomorrow, how autistic kids are affected by water. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Deb Albertson.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.